Hey everyone, welcome to this live stream. This is the Zwift Classics. This is the Zwift Classics, the Apple app, and we are here with the Category A race right now. We're going to head over to the C race, B race, and D race later on once the Category A riders finish. Right now, off the front is Jay Frankie, and he is currently winning the race. It's a pretty small field of around 13 riders, and there's a few notable names in this race. One of them being L.Craddock, a pro cyclist who races for a UCI World's Continental team. Okay, so here we are with L.Craddock. He's currently in second with a 5-second gap on the rest of the group. There aren't many riders in a group here. It's just there's 3 riders in a group and there's one more rider off the back. Very small race compared to the race that I covered this morning, but it will probably be a pretty exciting finish, and I think L.Craddock will probably be able to pull off this second place here, but Jay Frankie just has too big of a lead to be closed down in the final 2 miles. We're going to hop over to the B race for a bit. Let me just find a rider to fan view for that. Okay, here we are with the Category B race. A lot larger than the Category A race that we saw earlier. And this is still smaller than the race this morning, but that is expected as there are less riders riding at this time of day, as most riders live in the UK. So 37 in total, and it looks like here they're at 12.2 miles, so they're actually pretty close to the A race speed-wise. And on the front here is H. Hoskins. They've got 1.3 miles left until the finish, and they're about to hit the sprint where they will get their final power-up for the day, which will be the power-up that they will be using in the finishing sprint. So one notable rider is Danny M. I raced him before, very strong rider from CRYO-GEN. He's running the S-Works Venge and DT Swiss disc wheel set, and I believe he's got his power rank of around 140-ish, so we'll see if he can take the win here. Okay, we're going to jump back to the A race as they had got around 1 mile left until they hit the finish. Let me just pull that up real quick. Okay, so here we are with L.Craddock, and he's still in second with a 7-second gap on the rest of the group now. He's putting out some big watts, doing 460 watts, 180 heart rate. He is working pretty hard right now, and right now he's easing off. It might be because it's a downhill, or he's easing back to the main group. So here you're going to see that they're coming through the sprint banner. He's going to get a power-up that he will be able to use in the finishing sprint. And he's starting to bring his power back up. He's in his Team Bike Exchange J.Keen kit, his pro team in real life. His gap's down to around 3 seconds, so he's likely going to get caught on the slight descent before the finish, but he does have a good shot at the finishing sprint as he is a professional rider, so you would assume that he could probably win the race. Okay, he's heading down the slight descent, and you're going to see the gradient kick up in around 0.3 miles-ish. You can see that in my earlier live stream from this morning, and L.Craddock is turning on his lightweight power up, which means that he is just going to go for it right now rather than waiting for the group to catch up, then doing a group sprint. So this will be interesting to see if the riders behind him can close the gap in the finishing few hundred meters. Looks like T Big Fish, 7.5 watts per kg, now 8 watts per kg, trying to close this gap, but I don't think he'll be able to close the gap between him and Lawson. Still doing 8 watts per kg on the front. L.Craddock doing around 6. This is extremely strong rider here. And L.Craddock still doing around 7 watts per kg. He might be able to pull this off, but we'll see. We'll see the gap from this angle. It looks like he does have a pretty solid gap. He's coming up to the finish here. The other rider already finished with around a 1 minute gap, so he's out of the contention right now. So Lawson's going to come for first, second here. And this rider right here is going to be third, and Big Fish will come in fourth. Hopping into the B race now. Just going to catch the finish of all these races. Okay, into the B race. Small group of around 20 riders or so. And these riders are still sticking together for the finish. And it's probably going to be a tight finish as they come through the final half mile of this race. I'm going to be watching Danny M for this finish as he's likely going to take the win for this race because of his strong sprint power. Okay, you can see Havoc going off the front right now, following T.O, and the sprint has started. Danny is currently in fourth place right now. He is going to, I believe he's probably going to go right past these riders. He's not going to bother to ease up to wait for the rest of the riders, and here he's just going to go all the way to the finish. 13 watts per kg now. The rider right behind him has featherweight power up, but Danny has much higher watts per kg. He's going to walk away with the win. And that was a very close finish. D. Garge and Hoskins were extremely close. There was very close finish for second and third. So I'm not quite sure who took second and third for that. I'll wait to get confirmation from Zwift Power in a bit. But we're going to head over to the C race for the remainder of the time. Okay, the C riders are at 12.9 miles. They've got around 1.5 miles left, and they're going to be heading through the sprint banner really soon. I'm going to be watching Ryan Nickerson for this finish. Extremely strong sprinter, and I think he has the potential to win this. If anyone has any questions or comments about this race or the race series or the live stream, please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the video chat. And I will be sure to get back to you and answer your question or comment. Okay, here we are, and we're at 13.3 miles, so just 1.3 miles to go in this race. They're just about to go through the sprint banner, so we'll see if anyone deploys their power-ups and which power-ups they deploy to see whether they're using their power-ups wisely. Okay, we're at 13.5 miles, and you can see two riders here. One rider using their draft power-up, other one using their feather power-up. don't think that's quite the best idea, because if I were them, I would definitely be using the feather power up in the finishing sprint. And right now you can just see A. Martel go right off the front. Ryan Nickerson is chasing right behind him, and Martel quickly eases off the power, so just a test to see if anyone follows, I guess. Didn't really get anyone to get dropped or anything like that. The group is still in a tight finish, and I think the same rider will still probably win as earlier. So right now we're coming into the finish. This is a slight descent before the sharp uphill climb. Ryan Nickerson deploying his draft boost a bit early, but if he can get his sprint power very high, he can definitely win this race still. 5.9 watts per kg, 7 watts per kg now. A bit early for the sprint, but right when you hit the corner here, that's when you like to see some riders start to sprint, and we're going to see a pretty fast finish here. Okay, 9 watts per kg from Ryan Nickerson here. I believe he's going to go all the way from right here now. B. Anderson on the front, and now this is an all-out sprint to the finish. Ryan Nickerson with 14.8 watts per kg, 15 watts per kg now. I believe that he could probably walk away with this win. Oh, D. Paradas is right on his wheel. Ryan Nickerson is going to come in second. Paradas for first, and R. Owing for third. That is the podium for the C race. Very strong sprint by Ryan. I believe if he had gone just slightly bit later, he probably could have pulled off that win. Very strong sprint from everyone, though. Ryan definitely had the strongest sprint, but maybe not the best timing. Okay, we're going to head over to the D race now to catch the finish of the D racers. Let's just find someone to fan view real quick. Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing anyone that I can fan view at the moment. Okay, so the D race now, they've got 12 miles. They're 12 miles in. They've got around 3 miles left in their race. They're going to have a sprint finish here. It looks like with this lead group before. 12.3 miles in. They've got 1.3 miles left in the race. So they've got maybe around 6 minutes left at most. Looks like there was a pretty big group before, but most of those riders were dropped because there were 20 riders at the start, and now there are only 4. This is very similar to what we saw in the previous race this morning, where the riders were the group was very small compared to the number of signups or joined riders. So it'll be good to see how the finish goes in this race. For those of you just joining, and those of you who raced earlier who would like to see your finish, you can skip back on the timeline to try to find your finish so that you can see how you did in the finishing sprint. I haven't quite figured out the replay feature yet on OBS, but I'm looking to soon, so maybe in a few weeks I should have that up and running. G.Keen surging to stay with Gallagher. 12.6 miles in. Okay, looks like they're about to hit the sprint where they can use their power-ups to try to get another power-up. My guess is M. Andrew probably has the most racing experience. He's running the Bridgestone bike with the Zip disc wheel, a pretty decent setup, and he is the only one, I believe, in this group who is on a team or on Zwift Power. I'll check to confirm that right now. Looks like there are maybe 1 or 2 other riders who are on Zwift Power. So one of these 4 riders will not get a podium, but the other 3 will walk home with a podium finish. Okay, so we're seeing around 3 to 4 watts per kg from these riders now. They're about to hit the sprint, I believe. That's just coming up right here. Yeah, so you can see here the sprint marker, and then they will hit the banner where they can get another power up if they already use theirs or use it right before. Okay, looks like they just went through the sprint banner. 3 of them got a PR. Kudos to them. And these riders are heading up the short incline before they do around a 0.3 mile descent, where they will hit the finishing sprint, which is a pretty steep incline, and that is where we'll likely see these riders unleash their sprint. Okay, they're coming down this short descent. Let's get into a better camera angle for this finishing sprint. I want to get this all covered very nicely. G.Keen at 4 watts per kg. You can see Gallagher is using his anvil power up. This is actually the best place once you get after the sprint to use your anvil power up, because it is the only descent before the finish. He is at a disadvantage though in the finishing sprint, but that is all just luck of the draw because of how this Zwift power up system works. You can't just always get the power up that you want. Sometimes it's not going to be ideal. In this case, Gallagher likely did not get the power up he wanted, but that's just how Zwift racing is sometimes, and that's what gets a lot of riders to come back every time. Okay, now we are about to hit the finish. They're coming down this final stretch, and then right here is where the gradient kicks back up. Okay, you can see here that Ogilvy is unleashing their sprint, and so is M. Andrew from Evo. He can probably take this win here, 7.7 watts per kg. He is going right off the front. He's going to walk away with this win, and we're going to see D. Ogilvy for second, and G.Keen is going to come for third. Kudos to all these riders for putting up a strong fight in the finish. It's very fun to watch all these riders finish. And that's it for this live stream. Thanks for watching, and please tune in next week for the next live stream. I have some new things that I have aligned for the next live stream, so tune in, and please do like and subscribe. It really helps to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. See you all in the next live stream or the next video. I've got a video releasing in around 6 to 10 hours, I believe. So please check that out and give it a like.